So last week we were talking about the recent superstar shakeup. Our episode was running a little bit long, so we decided to split it up some. So sit back, and enjoy part two of VGR Lockdown Raw Superstar Shakeup.
Let's talk about. Well, let's talk about like. So you talked about the Riot Squad. What you think about them being on Raw?
Pointless. I mean, not pointless. I'm sorry, not pointless. Um, it brings some new faces.
Have you warmed up to them? Because I really don't like them. Like I really never liked them.
I mean, they're still green. They're still. Uh, they have to develop.
Okay.
They got to go through some stuff. I mean, look at what Alicia Fox went through before she got to where she is now.
Where is she right now, Steven?
Last time I checked, she was injured.
Okay.
However, and we'll get into it later, but I think she is one of the top people on my soon-to-be future endeavored
Okay.
list. But we're going to get into that
That's
a little
a bad
bit,
example, Steven.
a little bit later. But yeah, with the Rice Squad, I mean, it's a nice addition. I'm hoping they can finally trend. They need to put a wrap on this whole Sasha Banks Bailey feud thing. Either let them fight or don't. This has been going on now. I think this started back in January.
Yeah, that's when it started.
It's about to be the middle of May, and it's still they're it's like they're frenemies. One minute they're friends, one minute they're not.
It's confusing, yes.
Yeah.
I liked how it started though. I really like how it started. It just needs to develop a little more, a little faster. They're going way too slow with the burn. But I will say that I just think that Bailey needs something different. I'm happy that she actually stood up to Sasha Banks. I hate it. I think I despised what they did, and as far as writing is concerned with Bailey, it was absolutely horrible, and that's why she's getting booed. I'm happy they didn't do nothing like that with Daniel Bryan, and I'm hoping they don't mess up other people like that. Hopefully, my girl Amber Moon, they actually treat her well because I think that she has a lot of talent. Are you familiar with her work, Steven? What you think?
The question is, are you familiar with her?
I am.
See, I actually watched NXT.
Okay.
I don't know about you. You seem to
I watch it when I can.
You treat NXT like people treat Impact. But yeah, she has a lot of upside. I'm waiting to see how they're actually going to utilize her. Right now, she's kind of just there. And I mean, granted, they have never been great on Raw about being able to give everybody something to do. Sometimes they just exist. And right now, she's just existing because the focus is currently on Ronda Rousey. And I'm guessing at some point, Natalya is going to turn on Ronda Rousey. But you have that going on right now. You have the Riot Squad kind of intermingled with the whole Sasha Banks Bailey thing. And then, of course, you still have Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax going on. So you got a couple female
feuds. Can I talk about something real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay, because did you see that segment that she did where she talked about Nia Jax being a bully?
Yeah.
Did you laugh at that? Because I was crying when she talked about like that homeless person, and Nia Jax took the burrito and ate it down in front of the homeless person's face. I was crying. Alexa Bliss is good. Alexa Bliss, I mean, she really might be the next generation Trish Stratus. Maybe. She's good. She's hilarious, though. That was funny.
I think Corey Graves gave that coin to someone else already.
Yeah, Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose isn't as talented as Trish, but we'll see what happens with that. They look alike. I'll give them that.
So, just moving on. Other two moves they did. And it's weird. They kind of flip-flopped the mid-card division in this brand because they seem to move over the entire U.S. division from SmackDown to Raw minus Randy Orton, but they moved over Baron Corbin and Bobby Roode. And I'm worried about them. I feel like the mid card that area, that void that they're going to fill, they're going to get lost in the shuffle because that's Baron Corbin, Bobby Roode. I want to even say Bobby Lashley's going to be in that area because they still haven't figured out what they were going to do with him. He should have probably been on SmackDown. But then that's that same space that like Elias occupies.
Well, this is how I feel about Bobby Roode. Number one, I think that he has at the very least upper mid card potential, probably main event potential depending on what's on the roster. I think that they need to let him be what he was on NXT. Like I know they want to sell stuff, but his character seems really, from what I've seen. Now you correct me, show me some stuff. If I'm wrong. It seems a lot more one dimensional than when he was on NXT. On NXT, he was like he didn't have the charisma of Ric Flair, but he kind of had that type of gimmick. He had the nice suits, had the ladies. He was egotistical. He had like 6 women walking him to the ring, flashy jewelry. Just was like a top heel. But he was cool. I want him to try to get that role again. Maybe if he got that role, I would like to see him in a feud with Roman Reigns. I like to see him in a feud with Seth Rollins. And honestly, I wouldn't worry about him. But as a face on Raw right now, I am worried about him because there's too many top ones on there, especially if Dean Ambrose comes back. So I like to see him turn to be a heel and bring back how his character used to be. As far as Baron Corbin is concerned, you already know how I feel about him. I just don't think he's that good.
And you know what? Vince McMahon likes him.
John Cena doesn't like him.
But Bobby Roode, I feel like he's going to get lost. On Raw, I don't think he's ever going to live up to his full potential.
You don't think that a heel turn and feeding him with the right people would help?
No. He's always been a better heel. Whether it was in NXT, or TNA, yeah. He's always been a better heel. I just feel like on Raw, the priorities are different. He's got a lot of people that it's like on SmackDown, if he turned heel, he would be number 2 or 3 in line. On Raw, even if you turn him heel, he's got a long list of people
to go through. That is correct.
Right. And I don't think they're going to put, at his age, I don't think they're going to put him through those people.
How old is he?
Mid to late 30s.
He didn't look it. He looks like he's in a pretty good shape. And like I said, it's more on if he delivers. Hopefully, if he delivers, because there's people that you might think in your mind that is ahead of him that I think he's better than. Like for example, Jinder Mahal and Baron Corbin. He's head and shoulders better than him.
But now, as far as getting to the Universal title, right? Who do you think they're going to go with? Who do you think they would push? Bobby Roode or Elias?
Elias.
Baron Corbin. Vince McMahon likes Baron Corbin. So, more than likely, they're going to try to continue to build up and.
I'm not too worried about it. It's
make
all
Baron
about
Corbin
how
interesting.
It's all about what happens. Baron Corbin has maybe one notable match. He has 0 notable feuds. He had 0 notable promos. It's absolutely nothing about Baron Corbin has proved that he deserved to be in that spot. Now, Vince McMahon has liked a lot of people in the past, Steven. He liked Nathan Jones. He liked Les Luthor.
Okay, now. There is Vince McMahon liking people.
Okay.
Vince McMahon has liked a lot of people. But, like the ones that you've named, Vince McMahon have liked those people, not because he's liked those people. He liked their image. Nathan Jones was a big muscle-bound dude.
Okay.
Mason Ryan was a big muscle-bound dude.
He didn't like Mason
They
Ryan.
fit that image. No, Mason Ryan, he did like Mason Ryan. Mason Ryan just ended up not having the skills that was necessary.
Exactly.
Same thing with Nathan Jones.
And he even
Baron Corbin was different. Baron Corbin Baron Corbin is tall, but he doesn't have that muscle-bound physique that Vince McMahon used to go for and thinks that that's the true image of a wrestling star.
He reminds me of like a Kevin Nash type of person. And I think Kevin Nash is better than him. But I'm saying as far as his build is concerned. And, he's still a big dude. Compared to the average person, he's no great colleague, but he's still a big dude. He weighs like 280 pounds, Steven.
But he's damn near 7 feet tall.
But what I'm saying is, average people don't walk around like he's no Daniel Bryan. Like, oh, who's that guy? He like
Well, Daniel Bryan's short. That's a bad example.
Dean Ambrose, guys like that. They just look like ordinary guys.
But those also are people that Vince McMahon don't think look like real professional wrestlers.
I'm just telling you that they are still in the highest. It's about you still have to deliver.
Right, but with Vince liking you, that puts you at a higher place than the other people. But other people that would have to get to the title before Bobby Roode as well as Braun Strowman. Like there's a long laundry list of people.
You named some people who were heels
and faces.
No, this is what you name. You name people that are heels but are not ready for that spot and it's obvious. And you're naming some of the most established baby faces.
Here's the thing though. With heels, since none of them are established, they got Brock Lesnar. And as you can see, for over the almost 400 days, because he's about to break CM Punk's record, they're just like, you know what? Forget it. Forget heels. We got Brock, and we're going to run with Brock.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
So even if they turned him heel, they'll just use Brock as the champion.
Well, like I said, I think a good role for him to go into is the road that The Miz has been in, which has been a really high, bright spot on the card. Is he going to mic as The Miz? No. But who is? But I think that's a good spot for him. But I will tell you, I think that Bobby Roode is above a lot of the heels on the roster right now. I gave you the nod on Elias, but Jinder, Baron Corbin, and even maybe Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, I would put Bobby over them.
What? Sami Zayn, sure. Kevin Owens? Nah.
It's debatable. I don't think it's Kevin Owens. I think it's debatable.
So you know what? Speaking of people that's lost in the shuffle, this guy got lost in the shuffle of this cast right now, and that's Chad Gable.
Chad Gable, yeah, he's a hell of a wrestler. I just don't know. I mean, it's so many baby faces. I just don't think that they know
he's
what
a heel.
to do with him. Is he a heel now?
Yeah, he's been a heel.
I thought since he left Shelton Benjamin, he was face.
No, he was heel.
He beat Jinder Mahal fair and square. So I mean, that looked real baby face like.
I guess so.
And they're in a feud. They look like they're in a little mini feud. I guess it's leading up to Roman Reigns, but I mean, he got the hell kicked out of him by Jinder Mahal, and after beating him fair and square. So that looked real babyface like. That's why I thought he was babyface. He didn't come out and say, "Hey, I'm nice now," but I mean,
that's a good point. But he's gonna get lost. It's clear that he's gonna get lost because he got moved over as a heel, and then I guess became a babyface all of a sudden.
I think that I don't know how. I guess we can't say that he's a son. The Kurt Angle has 2 illegitimate sons. I hope they don't do that. But I hope it's a way that he could work with Kurt Angle somehow.
Well, you know what? They could do the whole, Maury thing, and you find out that Jason Jordan really wasn't the son. It was really Chad Gable, but somehow things got mixed up.
I don't want that. I would like to see a Maury thing because I thought that would be funny to do a Maury thing to find out Jason Jordan really isn't Kurt Angle's son. I would be interested in that. But as far as Chad Gable, they should just scrap the son thing. But it would be interesting to see him work with Kurt Angle. Find a little guidance and try to do something to find his footing because the stuff he can do in the ring is amazing. He's real strong.
You know what? I'm going to make you mad.
Okay.
Because you don't like talking about it. Move him to 205 Live.
Oh, my God. You know what, though?
And you haven't been watching 205 Live. Because 205 Live post Enzo Amore has been a much better show.
This is what I'll
say. They have reestablished their identity. They've been more so about the wrestling versus what they've been in the past. And that was Raw with smaller people.
This is my thing is I'm always just gonna get mad because I've actually seen good cruiserweights and these guys can actually wrestle, but they just don't have what I can remember. Maybe I'm looking at it through nostalgia glasses, but I remember Dean Malenko and Chris Jericho and Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, and the Dragon and all those guys. And I look at 205 Live, and it just looks like an embarrassment. Now, it falls in the middle. What that WCW had in the 90s was the best cruiserweight division ever compared to any major organization.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Okay.
Not that I disagree with.
Okay.
Here's the problem with what you're saying.
Okay.
You are viewing it through nostalgia. Because when that cruiserweight division was happening, You was like 5.
Yeah, okay.
So, though Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Jericho, during that period of time in the 90s, they were looked at the same way that you look at the guys on 205 right now. That's how people view them. But it's what happened in their career as time went on and you moved into the 2000s that you look back and you're like, wow, yeah, that cruiserweight division was awesome.
No, Stevie. I think you're wrong. I want you to just think about this, okay? When Chris Jericho debuted in the WWF, look at the response he got. And that's before it was. You couldn't look at YouTube and look on. You just had to know his work and look at his reactions. Look at the signs. Now, name me someone from 205 Live if they debuted on Raw right now, and even if they had a promo with Roman Reigns, that would get that type of reaction.
Here's the problem. Some of them did. But it's how the new system works. Jericho got that reaction because he went from WCW to WWE. Now, Kenta, Hideo Itami, as you may know him.
Okay.
Big deal in Japan. Huge deal in Japan.
Okay.
He got that response when he came over. Finn Balor got that response when he came over.
Okay.
The problem is now that when a lot of these guys came over, instead of going from their big, like New Japan Pro Wrestling to the WWE, they went from New Japan to NXT.
Yeah. Well,
so they got that, but so by the time they're getting to the main roster, their stock has diminished some because they're now the fans they know who they are now.
I agree, and that's why AJ Styles got such a big I don't even think he was he in NXT?
No, he didn't go to NXT. He went straight from New Japan to SmackDown.
Exactly, but I'm saying I can't in 205 Live. I just don't think that would be the case. Even if they went from
that's because though you're not familiar with a lot of their work. Look at Pete Dunne.
Okay.
Pete Dunne gets a great reception. Great reception.
Okay. Would he get that same reception as like what Chris Jericho got back in the day?
If he had debuted on Raw and not gone through the Cruiserweight Classic and everything else, it's debatable. It is, but a part of that is not him. Part of that issue is that the guys that you named, Jericho, Malenko, he who shall not be named, Eddie Guerrero, they all were in what? A global promotion that had a heavy, heavy footprint in the United States.
Okay.
If New Japan had the footprint that that WCW had in America, yes, they would.
Probably so. But I'm just telling you.
Bobby Roode got a big response.
He did. So, like I said, you're naming guys that were big deals, like Finn Balor and Bobby Roode in other wrestling promotions. I'm not debating that. We're talking 205 Live. And I'm saying a lot of those guys would not.
And a lot of those guys are big deals. And they're big deals in these other companies. These guys were stars. To the point where, and some of you guys may not play this, but I'm going to plug Grey Dog Software right now. Grey Dog Software produces a lot of very, very good wrestling simulator games. And people are allowed to make mods. And they base the people that's making the mods make it based on their skill level and of the wrestlers there.
I played it with you.
And when we played it, what guys were you hiring again? You were hiring these exact same guys that are on 205 Live because they got the skills. It's just that now there are no national companies with a heavy footprint in America, so they're not getting the level of exposure that they would have gotten. If there was another WCW right now, and these guys came over from WCW, yes, they would.
So you mentioned Pete Dunne. I'm not familiar with his promo work. Can he cut a promo that Chris Jericho can cut?
Probably, maybe not. But here's the thing. When Chris Jericho first debuted, guess what? I thought that promo was stupid.
In a lot of people's mind, that was the greatest debut in the history of the company.
It was the build-up.
And a lot
But
of
he
people
debuted and then got buried on the mic by The Rock. In his debut. Let's not forget what happened after his reveal of it being Jericho.
Well, this is what I'll say. Rock did get him that night. But throughout his career, this had nothing to do with nothing. But throughout his career, I think Chris Jericho kept up the most with The Rock out of anybody that he ever went up against when he was in his prime.
He did. He got opportunities.
As far as on the mic, because I mean, some of the stuff he used to say, I'm like, wow, that was pretty good.
But hey, listen, we are out of time, a little bit longer than I thought we do. We still got some more topics to cover in this area. We still need to get to the Authors of Pain, No Way Jose. But hey, check us out. Part 2. We'll finish wrapping up on Raw, and then we'll get into SmackDown.
Yeah.